Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest. We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it? He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I've surpassed peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging that generations remember our story.
Glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Friday, folks. I hope that all is well with everybody. We are here one more Friday. We have beaten the odds again. Grace and mercy smiles upon us again. Unfortunately, everybody has not been given or granted access to such a privilege. We got a lot to talk about today, a lot. So I'm going to be here for a little longer than normal this Friday. This is a time to celebrate. This is a time to be humble. It's a time to be transparent and honest. Whatever you entered into this live stream with, if it was negative, get it up off you. If you have anything in your heart that is weighing you down, get it up off you. We're going to address a couple of things today. Charlie Kirk's killer has been caught. I got a video. Oh, I got a couple of videos. The first one I'm going to let run is an entire duration for those of you who haven't seen it. We're going to talk about this situation, but there's a couple of other things going on that I don't think the world is really paying any attention to or giving enough respect to. So, because of that, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to make it my business to give my flowers out to these families and to this part of the internet that deserves and wants to hear what's happening in the world, because quite frankly, we're making everything about one specific person. And yeah, it's tragic. It sucks. I hate that it happened. But there are definitely a lot of souls right now that's hurting. And there's a lot of people who deserve to be acknowledged here. So repost, share, let the people know that we are on. If you have questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. I will highlight them. Like I said, I'm not going to take a break on this video. This one is like 11 minutes. I got it off of YouTube. So this is an update on what's going on with Charlie Kirk. We're going to address that. Then I'm going to go and address the other situations with the 19-year-old black woman who got killed out here in Maryland that everybody seems to forget about or don't really care about, because yeah, I'm heated about that. And we got to talk about this crazy shit. Manager gets beheaded in front of his kids. Like, that shit is wild to me. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna bring this up on the big screen. I'm gonna let it run. And we're gonna have a conversation about it, and then we're gonna progress as time goes on to cover these other tragic losses. I will put this on the big screen. I will see you in a few minutes.
Trump, in an appearance that is ongoing on another network, just said that there is now a custody in suspect, a suspect in custody for the Charlie Kirk assassination. We'll say that again. President Trump just now announcing that a suspect is in custody connected to the Charlie Kirk killing of a few days ago. The president just said this on Fox and Friends. I'll read the quote. "I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens," the president adds. He goes on to say, "The tip stemmed from a minister," Trump says he believes, "who passed the tip to a friend who was a U.S. Marshal. And then they involved the father of the suspect. We don't have an identity yet. We don't have a name of this suspect." President Trump himself saying that he learned of it just a few moments before he stepped on set. This is all taking place in the last couple minutes, as you might imagine. This is a very fluid situation. Seems like the president himself was just briefed on this. There were some details he acknowledged he did not know. But to recap the breaking news, of course, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the conservative political commentator and organizer, shot in broad daylight on a college campus in Utah a couple of days ago. Video graphic went around the world very quickly. There's been an intensive manhunt for this suspect here. You're seeing the individual on your screen. These are images released by the police yesterday as they they're imploring the public to come forward with help, come forward with tips, with other information about this person. So now we're going to hear, I believe we're going to hear now what President Trump said just a few moments ago.
I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But yeah, I think we're in great shape. Mr. President, he's in custody.
That was President Trump just a few moments ago on Fox and Friends. He's here in New York City, appearing in studio just across the street, saying with a high degree of certainty, quoting him, that they have the suspect in custody, but we don't know who this person is. We believe at 9 o'clock Eastern time, so about 45 minutes from now, authorities in Utah will hold a news conference. Let's bring in now MSNBC investigative correspondent Mark Santia. Mark, thank you for rushing back to set. This is obviously a breaking story. Just a few moments ago, the president said this. Is there anything else we've learned as to what happened?
No, right now, I mean, this is a major development. For the president to say, quote, "we have him," He's in custody. Obviously, major development. We're working the phones right now, along with my colleague Tom Winter, Jonathan Dienst, reaching out. We know, as you said, Jonathan, there's a 9 o'clock press conference. We were told about a 9 o'clock press conference in Utah. And then shortly after, the president made these statements. Again, quote, "We have him. He's in custody." President also said talked about the great work that's been done over the last several hours, the last couple of days. At this point, we're just waiting to hear. This is something that is very, very fluid at this time. We knew they were close. We knew they had, Jonathan, 7,000 tips, pieces of digital evidence. They were following several leads. So we knew, just talking to law enforcement sources and sources familiar with this investigation, we knew they were on it. We knew they were tracking down several leads. And you just heard from the president. He said, again, quote, "We have him."
Yeah, I'm following along with the president's appearance. He says he hopes the suspect gets the death penalty. Obviously, you need a trial and conviction before that. He's moved on to other topics right now, including the nickname of the Washington Commanders football team, but we'll bring it to you if he says anything else. But to recap, just a few moments ago, President Trump, in a media appearance, said that a suspect in custody, no identity yet, certainly no sense of motive just yet. But it appears Ken Delanian is joining us now, MSNBC Justice and Intelligence correspondent. So, Ken, I'll come to you with this. It appears that the decision by the law enforcement in Utah to go public with these images is paid off. We carried that news conference live on our air yesterday, about 24 hours ago. The FBI in Utah said they weren't going to do that just yet, that they didn't think they needed to take that step. Well, they developed better images. We're seeing them here. They released them. They put out some video of the suspect both arriving and then fleeing the school after the shooting. And now these fairly high resolution images in the stairwell captured, I believe, by a campus security camera. These perhaps is what helped. Ken, what more do we know?
Yeah, we're just working the phones, as Mark said, right now, trying to understand what the president is saying. The images may have helped, Jonathan, or it could have been something entirely different. For example, the suspect could have decided to confess or turn himself in. We just don't know at this moment. Last night, it really appeared that they were stymied. I mean, they waited for hours to hold a news conference. And then when they did, they said very little and essentially started reciting how many interviews they had done and how many teams were working on the case, which when law enforcement starts talking about that, you kind of suggest they really don't have very much. And the head of Utah's public safety told NBC's Morgan Chestegui last night that they had no idea who this person is or where this person was last night. Could have been hundreds of miles away from Utah, could have been close. They had no idea. So it really suggests that something dramatic happened overnight. It's possible someone identified this person from the photos, although the resolution on the face was not terrific. Obviously not good enough for the FBI to make a facial recognition match. Because again, very clear last night, they did not know. They did not have an identity of the suspect. So it does look like something dramatic has happened.
Well, according to the president, what that dramatic moment was, and we don't quite have the chronology, but he is saying that a minister, apparently, didn't identify who the minister is or where the minister lives, but a minister recognized the shooter, went to an acquaintance, a friend of his who's a member of law enforcement. At that point, the shooter's, the suspect's family was also involved. The president said that the minister spoke to the suspect's father, perhaps, and that led to him being taken into custody. But again, we should note again, Mark, the president said that he was just briefed on this development a few moments ago, like right before he went on camera. So he has also acknowledged he does not have the complete story here as to what went. And we should also note of caution that twice before in this very shooting, the police detained someone they thought was a person of interest, even a potential suspect, one of whom the FBI director, Kash Patel, took to social media and said, "We've got our guy," only an hour or two later to say, well, he wasn't our guy. So these things are fluid. But if the president of the United States is saying it, you'd have to think they have some degree of certainty that at minimum, this is someone that they really want to talk to.
I think you're absolutely right. The president saying it, coupled with in 40 minutes, there's going to be a press conference in Utah. there is obviously something imminent. This is breaking. And as you said, fluid. But I think what's interesting, Jonathan, is you had those stills. Ken was talking about the stills that were released. You had the direct sort of still photographs of the suspect's face. And then last night, there was a push to get out the clothing. The police commissioner talking specifically about the Converse shoes, the sweatshirt with the American flag and the eagle. And they were reaching out to the public. I mean, if you know this person, there's a good chance you might recognize them. But then when you couple that photo of the face with the Converse shoes or some of the clothes, it might ring a bell. And we've seen in several different investigations, people stepping up and speaking out if they recognize someone. Again, the president saying, we have him, he's in custody. And as you said, someone who knew him, according to the president, turned him in.
Now, this president, not always the most reliable narrator, but again, you'd think that he would, be certain of this development before going public with it. We should also recap some of the other evidence they had found. The rifle, the bolt-action rifle, was discovered. A palm print was found, and then and Mark, staying with you, we said the video of this individual, the believed suspect, both arriving and then fleeing. We saw that earlier in our show, jumping off the roof, landing pretty hard, I'd have to say, about 10, 15 feet down, and then making his way through a woods and then a neighborhood, and then they lose sight of him.
Yeah, that landing, as you said, that sort of hard landing, police and federal agents say they had a shoe impression, a footwear impression there.
You can see it
hitting
here.
the ground, right?
He's about to jump.
Scales that. You have that palm print, according to police. There's a forearm print, and then finally makes that leap downward. And police say they have a shoe wear impression there. They'll be analyzing that as well. Then runs into the wooded area where police say they recovered a weapon, that bolt action rifle. Talking to retired ATF agents, they say it's a high powered rifle that's being analyzed. They found several cartridges, including spent rounds that were found. ATF will tell you, bullets can tell a story, Jonathan. The casing that holds the bullet can tell a story. The actual gun can tell a story. They're reviewing that, looking at prints. You have multiple facets of this investigation in sort of moving right now. It's very, very fluid. Obviously, it's stepped up. It's ramped up based on what the president has said just moments ago.
And Charlie Kirk, of course, a close ally of the president, really, really a dear friend to the president's children, Donald Trump Jr. in particular. He was a close ally of Vice President J.D. Vance. In fact, Vance flew to Utah yesterday on Air Force Two and then took Kirk's body, his casket, on the Air Force Two, the vice presidential plane, flying from Utah back to his home in Arizona ahead of, we anticipate, funeral services in the days ahead. So
they did some quick work. It looked like they got their guy. Maybe. I hope and pray they do. Like, I don't have the same animosity or mixed feelings towards this as a lot of people do. And trust me, I've read the comments. I know how a lot of y'all feel. Most of y'all could care less. So what? He had a wife and kids. So what? They will never grow up to see or experience anything else with their dad. So what? They have to bury him at the age of 31. Who cares? He allegedly didn't like black people. He blamed black people for everything. He said a lot of horrible things. Screw him. Yeah, I've seen the comments. And if you was here yesterday when we spoke about this, you know I am one of the most unbiased people when it comes to situations like this, because the reality and the perception are conflicting in everybody's eyes. You see one thing, I see something else, and it's always been like that. See, whether or not you liked him or not, he stood for something. He clearly loved his family. Whether or not he was the Antichrist or not, he seemed to move in a way where he was not really fearful to speak his mind. I never, and let me put this on record, I do not agree with everything that brother spoke out of his mouth. I don't. However, do you know how rare it is? How rare it is to come across any adults in 2025 that's willing to risk their social media platforms, their jobs, their finances, their families, their friends. How many people you know are not fearful of telling their truth, no matter how that looks? You know what time frame we're in. You get censored and blocked and banned for everything that you say and do. We can hardly scratch our ass anymore. Tell me I'm lying. From podcast to reaction video to influencer, you can barely say anything. You can't speak on Trump. You can't speak on Epstein. You can't speak on this. You can't speak on that. As soon as you start to go there, either they want to take you to court, or they want to defame the character, or they want to eliminate you altogether. We have a huge problem, a very huge problem. It has nothing to do with race. This is about demonic warfare and angelic spiritual warfare. This is about men and women fighting for their souls, fighting for understanding, fighting for truth, clarity. I want to know what's right and what's wrong. I want to know what side I'm supposed to be on. I couldn't be in the government as an official. I don't believe in Democratic parties, Republican parties. I'm too neutral. I'm too like everything needs to just be like right here. Why are we doing all of this? People say things on the internet all the time that hurt feelings. Either you're bashing men or you're bashing women, or you're upset and angry and you're releasing your anger and your bitterness, or you're crashing out, or you're doing things to bait people in to arguing with you, or you're trolling. freedom of expression. How many people you know are willing to use this platform and talk about things in history that might not be so settling to you or your ancestors or your friends or your family? And then you might be so invested in this that it causes friction between you and everybody else because they stand on one side and you stand on the other side. So you have to make a choice. Are you going to stand on what you believe in, or are you going to concede and then just walk with the narratives that everybody else has walked with? Because face it, everybody is not all knowing. It's not like everybody has the answers to. The man should still be alive. Looking at this story, I hope that the forensic team and everyone who handles the ballistics, the footage, and all the things with the testimony, I hope all of it is comprised and it is 100% accurate when the final analysis comes out. You should not be afraid to speak your piece. You should not be in fear of telling your truth or being disagreeable. Why, as a United States American, a legitimate citizen, why should I be scared to tell the truth or speak how I feel about something I'm unhappy with? Or shed light on something that you're confused about. Maybe you know something that I don't, and you can help me. Maybe you can teach me something. Why would that bother me? And why would it bother you? Why are you so triggered at conversations? Someone said, you don't know why they killed him. You don't understand. You don't know what happened here. Why do I need to really know? Somebody died that did not deserve it. Was he breaking and entering? Did he hold somebody at hostage? Was this the situation where the man was stabbing people in the grocery store? I don't think it was. That man was sitting in a crowd of people talking. Same thing he has always done. Like him or not. D.L. Hughley has some choice words about this. And I want to address that really quick. I think that you handled the conversation and the interview fairly smooth. I'm not even mad at it. But I think what you left out, and maybe I missed something. I think what you left out is we really don't know what this was based off of. You see clips, you see video footage and chopped up farming footage of him saying some very uh, egregious things. You might have watched them. Some of you probably know a little bit more about them than I do. But you know what's always missing, Mr. Hughley? Context. Context is a lost art. Most people do not understand context. We'll hear a word and then pronounce it or associate it with something that is not. And yes, he has said a lot of things geared towards Black people. But do you understand the real context behind his messages? Do we really know what a person is thinking or what they're trying to express? We get too personally involved, extremely too much. Extremely too much. And so you'll hear something that sounds negative about a culture or about a particular topic. You'll brand it across your chest plate, automatically make it about you, when in all actuality, you got to separate your personal feelings from the truth and the reality. Like I said, I don't agree with everything he said. And maybe I need to do a little more reaction responses to some of his discussions to get my own take. Because we're hard of hearing, we're hard headed. Once you got something fixated in your mind and in your heart, you're not listening to nobody else. You don't really care what anybody else got to say. The man should be alive. I'm not killing you over no words. Nah, not at all. I truly hope you got the right person. On the flip side, I gotta address this too, because we're about to go into two more subjects here. The efficiency in which the government apprehended this suspect. It shows me that they have the capabilities to get it done. We don't have to wait 20, 40 years for them to resolve a crime. It does not take that long. If they really want to get the person, they will do it. There's more details that need to come out. I need to know how he was allowed to get access to the roof, because somebody had to help. Like, he didn't do this by himself. We're not about to even let that slide. But here's my thing. There's no way in the world you're going to tell me this man got shot a day prior, and then we're, what, a day ahead, almost two? Y'all got your man? So That's awesome. I love that for us. Except I have a problem with the fact in which you take your precious little time to apprehend suspects involving Black women. Give me my dog. We're going to address that here in a second. This 19-year-old woman lost her life to an illegal immigrant. I did a reaction video to it. Nobody gave a fuck about that. So I'm going to put more light on it. How are you going to disrespect this young lady as if she's not a human being? Because she's Black, she doesn't get press. Is that what I'm getting here? I'm going to bring it up on the screen. She going to get her flowers today. This woman didn't deserve to lose her life. Miss Dakara Thompson. Let's see what we got here. This is just a little clip. Just a little one. Everybody on social media is covering Charlie Kirk. Nobody is talking about Dakara Thompson. Not a single one of y'all. Right. I get it. That was Trump's buddy. He voted for him. I understand. He's reached millions of people. He went viral. He has a family. I have no hatred in my heart towards him. But I do have a problem with the fact that y'all motherfuckers act as if before this happened, this young lady wasn't already missing and ended up being discovered dead at the hands of an illegal. But nobody wanted to discuss it. No energy for it. None. Y'all just don't know what I'm talking about. I got you covered. Hold on a minute. Big screen.
Believe the murder occurred in the home on Cambridge Drive in Hernandez's bedroom.
Prince George County's 19-year-old Dakara Thompson, who went missing 15 days ago, has been confirmed deceased. Hugo Hernandez Mendez, 35, has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Thompson was last seen by her family around 10 p.m. on August 22nd, when she told her father she was going to refuel her car and never returned. The next day, her car was found abandoned in front of a fire hydrant near Jasmine Terrace and Riggs Road. The cameras in the area captured Thompson leaving her car at 1:30 a.m. and walking along the sidewalk towards Riggs Road. A week after her disappearance, authorities discovered a female body in a grassy area located next to Highway 50 in Anne Arundel County. They have now confirmed that it is the missing Thompson. Another surveillance video shows that around 3 a.m. that evening, Thompson approached a black SUV. After talking to the driver, she got into the car, and the driver then drove to a residential area at 12,000 Kenbridge Avenue in Bowie City. On September 4th, the police searched the house and found evidence that Thompson was killed after being SA in one bedroom of the house. According to the indictment, more than a week after the incident, the suspect Hernandez Mendez threw Thompson from Bridge 50 into the South River. The police stated that they are still investigating how the two came into contact and whether Thompson and the suspect knew each other before she went missing. Hernandez Mendez has been charged with first-degree and second-degree murder and will appear in court in Upper Marlboro on Monday afternoon.
We believe the murder.
So, where's your energy for her? Why isn't anyone talking about her? Huh? For the last few days, all I've been seeing is videos and clips about Charlie. All I see is Charlie, but nobody's talking about Dakara Thompson. Right. I never seen Donald Trump do a press conference. I never seen Donald Trump get in front of a camera and say, "We're doing everything that we could possibly do." Oh, is that how he? Let me try it. We're doing everything that we possibly do to find Miss Thompson. I don't see nobody looking for her. I didn't see social media and all these. I didn't see nothing. I'm probably one of the few, the small select few that spoke about it. It took y'all what? Y'all found her. Thank you. I'm glad this was resolved. But why is nobody making a big deal of it? When the Ukrainian woman was killed on the train, everybody spoke about it. Hell, I just spoke about it Monday. Or was it Tuesday? It was Monday or Tuesday. Everybody was talking about it. Her picture is plastered everywhere. Not Dakara. So help me understand something. You got a crazy homeless black man who kills a Ukrainian white woman. That gets all the exposure in the world. You get a black young lady who gets killed by somebody who shouldn't even be in this country, and nobody wants to talk about that. Y'all argue and complain about illegal immigration, how they shouldn't be here. They're taking our jobs. Or why are you taking them from their family? Why are you stripping them from their families? You're stripping them from their families. I hate you. I hate America. You're breaking up homes. You're taking husbands from their wives and children from their. But we had an illegal immigrant kill the 19-year-old black woman. Y'all can't have it both ways. And this is what be tripping me out, because y'all be so quick to do the race thing. It's not a fucking race war. There's racism. There's not a race war. Everybody out here is not thinking about that bullshit. I'm not looking at no white person thinking I hate you, cracker ass motherfuckers. Every white person is not out here on the same shit. You got people who are just downright evil. You got people who just keep continuously doing crimes and they're not properly being held accountable for them. Why the fuck you keep letting these drug dealers and murderers and rapists out of jail? How the fuck are they only doing 2-3 years, 6 months probation and house arrest and shit? Why the fuck are you giving so much credence to white people when shit happens to them, but you're not having the same respect put on black people when they are the victims of crimes? Oh, you thought we wasn't going to talk? Yeah, we're going to talk. I'm sick of it. I was telling somebody earlier, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm very, very like had it up to here. Y'all pick and choose what you want to argue over. You pick and choose what you want to react to. You pick and choose who you want to support and give GoFundMe to. You pick and choose who you want to have empathy for. You pick and choose who you want to represent you. You pick and choose who's the martyr that day. You pick and choose who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. Guess what? We're all the good and bad. We're all good and bad guys. We're all responsible. I don't really care about favorites or sides. I don't know what led the car to end up in a vehicle with that Wario from the Mario Brothers looking ass nigga. I don't know what the hell prompted her to end up in that position, but she didn't deserve to lose her life. She didn't. His family, his relatives, whoever snuck him over here, you're responsible for sneaking him over here. You didn't hold him accountable. And the young lady who lost her life, my thoughts and prayers go out to your family, for real. What were you doing out there? What kind of lifestyle did you have that we didn't know about? Because if we're going to keep it all the way 100, we put ourselves in certain positions that end up like this. It's a timeline and a string of choices and decisions that we make. She's not completely innocent here. Sorry to say it. Sad enough. She's not. How did you end up here, young lady? I know your family had to love you. They had to, because your last message to your dad was that you were going to be home. So I know they loved you. What type of shit was you into? You should still be here, sister. You way too young. You way too young to be in the ground. And if America really cared about justice and having balance and peace and equality, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, y'all wouldn't feel so up and down about who gets what, when and where. How are you picking and choosing who is right and wrong? It's right for this person to kill this person because, well, he's black. They white. So fuck it. They deserve to die because hell. Do you know how ignorant that sounds? God just can't control your emotions and your feelings. Y'all never heard of due process? Pen, paper, lawyer, judge, prison. It's the only thing that y'all know about is this and y'all not good for nothing else. What's the point of having a brain if you don't use it? All on social media, bickering, going back and forth, arguing on people's comment sections. Oh, you don't know what happened? Oh, shut the fuck up, nigger. You fucking nigger. You nigger. Trolls and people saying you corny as fuck. Shut the fuck up. All that dumb shit. Y'all ain't contributing to nothing, not making nothing better. All you're doing is breeding nothing but hate and more ignorance. Be an example. How about that? How about you show the rest of society how to be polite, how to be gentle, how to handle conflict properly, how to lead, how to guide, how to protect and serve, how to hold people accountable properly, how to walk away, how to be a man, how to be a woman. How about you band together and march on Washington and march on the government and march on all of these patriarchal bullshitty rules that you say are destroying the nuclear household and dating and this, that. Why don't y'all all come together with your smart ass mouth, with your hypotheses and your aggression, and do something about it? Instead of antagonizing black people. You're black, my nigga. You do know that, right? You calling another nigga a nigga, but you're both niggas. Not even understanding that you shouldn't even be identifying yourself as the N-word at all. This young lady should be here. Charlie Kirk should be here. The media has everybody's eyes glued on Charlie Kirk and the Ukrainian woman. Social media has everybody arguing and fighting over, was this a Republican or Democrat situation? The social media space wants you to believe that this is a issue that supersedes what's happening in Israel and in Palestine. Social media and the way that they're portraying these tragedies, specifically the Ukrainian death and the Charlie Kirk death, they're focusing on those two situations to distract you from everything else that's going on in the world. Creating a smoke and mirror. Yeah, I care more about the fact that he said some things that hurt your little feelings. Oh. You hurt your feelings. You sad. What? You got a boo-boo.
What?
You're gonna go cry in the car.
What?
What, you gonna go flag people?
What?
You're gonna report them?
What?
You're gonna gang stalk them?
What?
You're gonna assassinate their character? You're gonna go rob them? You're gonna go kill them because you didn't like what they said?
What?
That makes you feel tough?
What?
You're a man?
What?
A woman?
What?
Y'all don't know how to do anything without drama, drugs, death. Is everything about drama, drugs, and death? Are you that pressed to be popular? Are you that pressed to be important? Are you that pressed to feel special? Is this really about death, or is this about marketability? Is this really about this black woman losing her life, or is this really about the fact that you get to get some coverage on it? Is this about Charlie Kirk, or is this about you wanting to get coverage on it so that you can get likes and views for it? Is this really about finding some type of solutions to these problems, which the real problem is you motherfuckers do not know how to communicate. You're sensitive as fuck and you get mad at everything. Straight up. You don't want to walk away. You're too prideful. You got too much ego for it. Becky is watching you. You don't want to get embarrassed in front of Becky having an intellectual debate with someone who might be more superior or more knowledgeable in an area that you are attacking. You don't want to look bad in front of her or him, or you don't want to look bad in front of your crew. Right. Yeah. I got another one that I want to go over with y'all. The last couple days, last couple weeks have been nothing but it's like it's depressing. Shit is depressing. I woke up this morning. Somebody sends me a message via Instagram. Sometimes I watch them drinks. A lot of times I don't be watching the shit because it's like, man, why you keep sending me this shit? Because like you don't really be present when I need support, but you always want to pop up. It's like the shit is weird to me. But I decided I was going to go ahead and take a gander. And what I saw and what I witnessed was absolutely crazy. Look, I'm about to start doing videos on the graphic shit. Those are going to be member only videos. Members only videos. You know why? Because those are the videos that you cannot post publicly on YouTube. That shit is too foul. So I'm about to start recording those, and they're going to be for members only. So if you got a weak stomach, this ain't for you. But if you want to see like the raw raunchy shit, that's going to be separate. This ain't porn or nothing like this. Well, it's graphic enough for it. That's neither here nor there. That's about I'm about to start recording for those like immediately. I want y'all to take a gander at this next one. This shit right here, I still can't wrap my mind around it. Let me pull this up on a big screen real quick. We got like a 2-minute clip here, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up and your patience. Let me bring this up on a big screen. I'm gonna let it rock out. Look, this shit, you can tell the world is wicked as fuck, man. Like we're at the point to where prophecy is unraveling. Personally, I believe prophecy is unraveling before our eyes. Humans don't even care anymore. We all just out here crashing out, doing whatever. I don't know where the fuck this come from, but hold on, let me get this up here, man.
Some discovery in East Dallas, and we do want to warn you that the details are disturbing. We also now have the mugshot for Jordanis Cobos Martinez. He's the man accused of beheading a manager at the motel where they worked. Now, that grisly scene unfolding this morning at Downtown Suites in the 3400 block of Samuel Boulevard. And as our Meredith Yeoman shows, it may have all started over a broken washing machine.
From video of the suspect's arrest to when first responders arrived on scene, details into the beheading death of a motel manager are disturbing.
That stabbing, the suspect has a machete, and Fire is noticing that he is actually cutting someone's head off.
Dallas police say they were called to Downtown Suites around 9:30 this morning after witnesses like this motel resident who asked not to be identified called 911.
I see this on TV, but I never seen somebody get their head chopped off.
According to a newly released arrest affidavit, the suspect got upset when the victim used a translator to tell the suspect not to use a broken washing machine in the laundry room. It says the suspect then produced a machete and started cutting and stabbing the victim.
While he was chasing him, the man was literally hollering, "Stop, stop, stop."
After running for his life, witnesses say the suspect decapitated the victim in front of his wife and son, then left his head in a dumpster. The suspect, arrested a short time later, his shirt covered in blood, has now been identified as Jordanis Cobos Martinez, a 37-year-old linked to crimes in California, Florida, and Houston. The Cuban national now charged with capital murder and on an ICE hold in the Dallas County Jail. The victim, identified by police as 50-year-old Chandra Nagamalya, who motel property owners describe as a good, hardworking person. Meredith Yeomans, NBC5.
And during questioning, police say the suspect admitted to the killing and stole the victim's key card and cell phone.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Don't tell me that shit is normal. Don't sit here and say nothing about that shit is normal. There's nothing normal about that. You will never get me to rationally normalize a motherfucker walking around with a big ass Jason Voorhees knife, running a man down, stabbing, and on top of that, decapitating this man, taking the man's head, and then discarding it like it's a fucking piece of trash. What is normal about that? What is normal? This man died over a washing machine. You were that upset over a washing machine? you clearly already had issues with this man. The level of evil, the level of hatred that has to be in a person's heart, that can't be regular human. You cannot be a regular human coming up with the idea. Like, if you don't like the man, fight him. Push come to shove. I didn't hear anything that even resulted in you throwing hands with the person. You went from him using a translator to tell you, look, something is wrong with the washing machine. Don't use it. You extrapolated from that violence. You heard that and thought to yourself, these are fighting words. You really dead ass hate me as a human being to tell me to go use another machine. This is not gonna work.
What's that? You fucking idiots! You're all fucking idiots and you fucking suck!
But guess what? I'm tripping though. I'm crazy. I don't have no common sense. Oh, shut the fuck up. Your glasses are ugly. Oh my god. I don't like your hat. I don't like your face. Oh. But we living around people like this. The man should have been in jail. Why the fuck is he free? The black man on the train already had like fucking 14 charges. 14. This nigga done been to jail more than a person's been alive. But y'all let him out. And then he ends up killing a Ukrainian girl, a Ukrainian woman who's escaping something to get a and now we got another case just days later. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on out here? Miss Dakara Thompson deserves way more exposure. Dakara Thompson deserves way more exposure on the internet. She deserves to be talked about way more. The illegal immigration situation needs to be discussed way more. This isn't a Republican or Democratic issue. This is a human issue. Humans are walking around with demons. Humans are walking around mentally ill, walking around free. They should be in fucking jail. There's a lot of y'all that should not be walking the planet at all. All of you should be behind bars, but you're not. Y'all the ones that's innocent and rotting away in jail, getting all the time robbed from them. Niggas doing 30, 40 years for some shit that they didn't do. Should be wrong. They should be in your spot. Let's swap them out for the real criminals. What the fuck are we talking about? Why are innocent people in prison dealing with dropping the soap and all this PTSD that's being created through the shit that they're living every day in and out, while you get to roam free and terrorize everybody? This motherfucker chopped off somebody's head in front of their family. literally cut this man's head off in front of his family over a washing machine. Y'all still think angels and demons don't exist? You still think evil does not exist? You still think the music that you listen to doesn't have an effect on your personality? You still think it's all right to speak negatively? You still think it's cool to troll and bully and cyberbully? You still think it's okay to be idiotic and disassociative? The sun, right? As this man is actually attacking his father, he's trying to stop the suspect with a baseball bat. So the son is assaulting and trying to defend his father. But even with him swinging the bat at the guy, it still doesn't stop the guy from doing what he's doing with the machete. He still ends up managing not only did he chop the man head off, he kicked it, then he picked it up, and then he showed it to his family and tossed it in the dumpster. Now, how fucking evil can you be? Charlie Kirk just got killed. Got a suspect. Charlie Kirk is dead. Charlie Kirk is no longer here to see his loved ones grow up. Charlie Kirk was just a guy who had a lot of words. You could have just talked to him. You didn't have to do what you did to him. Dakara Thompson is not even getting any type of love at all. Nobody's talking about her. She got raped and killed and then dumped into a fucking river like she's a piece of shit. And then you got a man who gets I don't even know how to describe or rate the sheer disgust that I have for that. They took him alive. We took the homeless man on the train alive. The people on the train didn't even give a fuck about her. This nigga, all he had was a fucking pocket knife. But nobody wanted to do anything there. Stop trying to make this a republic. Like all that political shit, I don't give a fuck about none of that political shit. The political stuff is just there to create a wall between the rich people and the poor people. That's all that shit is. Just terminology, invisible words, and phrases and It's just there to create and separate them from the rest of us. That's all it is as far as I'm concerned. Let's see how many people have a conversation about the car. Let's see how many people have a conversation about the man who just got gruesomely killed in front of his loved ones. I'll wait. I got all the patience in the world. I want to see a timeline filled with anger. I want to see you take all of your frustrations out on them, the ones that are responsible for releasing the prisoners, for the people who are opening the gateways, allowing these demonic entities to run rampant and have access. They found this man killer in a day and a half or something like that. Took them 15 plus days to discover who killed the Kara. That didn't go national at all. I only seen it on a handful of platforms. Wasn't really nobody talking about that shit. If I didn't go to Instagram, I would have never known about the car. That's why I'm about to start doing members only stuff where I don't get censored. YouTube can't kick me off the platform because they don't show everything. They don't talk about all the stories that need to be discussed. They don't let you see the shit that needs to be seen. They only want you to see specific stuff for certain reasons. And I'm fair all across the board. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. I'm glad what I noticed, all three parties involved were apprehended. Cool. But the level of respect is not there at all. One bit. Donald Trump ain't say nothing about this illegal immigrant that murdered and discarded the car. He didn't say nothing about that. But he does want to execute the black man who killed the Ukrainian woman. Let's go ahead and execute him. But let's not talk about the guy who just did what he did to this black woman. Oh, he wants the death penalty for the guy, for the shooter who killed Charlie. But no words for Dakara. Dakara Thompson, my nigga. Put some respect on that woman's name. That family grieving just like everybody else. What makes them any more special than her? No, I don't give a fuck what she was doing. He didn't deserve that shit at all. It is what it is. All in a span of a couple of weeks. Shit's wild, man. Absolutely wild. Look, I'm spending the block tonight, Lord willing. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Eastern. Kelly Price has some choice words for black women. We're going to address it. I'm going to have my partner in here. I'm going to have Sydney in here. And we're going to chop it up. Let me know in the comment section. Once this video uploads, let me know how y'all feel about this. any of it. I'm just curious. Hope y'all have a blessed Friday. Enjoy the rest of your evening or afternoon or morning. I mean, your time differences are not the same. I don't know where y'all from, so I'm just trying to cover all bases. Shout out to the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. If you're not following, tap the link in the bio. Keep up with us. Join the conversations. I'm about to get back in the lab. There's work to be done.
Push the goddamn button.
Appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all later.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I've surpassed peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors